Hello, my name's Tim, welcome to Tim Burbage Reads, and today we're going to be doing a bit of a silly video. So I know in December there is a new Brandon Sanderson book coming out called Wind and Truth from the Stormlight Archive. I haven't read a single Brandon Sanderson book. It's not on purpose, I wasn't really reading fantasy at the time when he kind of exploded onto the scene. I think he's an American author, so he's much bigger in America than he is in the UK, and I just haven't got around to it. But what I do know is that he writes these books in this Cosmere universe, and that every book takes place on a different planet or something, and there's new magic and whatever. The thing is, the point of this video is, I've got a little wheel of all the different Cosmere books, and with my little to no knowledge, I'm going to guess what they're about. I thought it'd be a fun video. So you can let me know in the comments below how wrong I am. So, first of all, let's roll this wheel. Let's go right forward. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, what's it going to be? Warbreaker. Little round of applause. So, Warbreaker, I'm going to guess, is about set on a world where everyone is purely at war all of the time, and one person rises above it and breaks the idea of constant war by bringing in socialism to a planet and communism and making everyone at peace. And then maybe you discover there's an epilogue kind of 100 years in the future where this utopia has broken, and now people are fighting up, and the power that set up the socialism equality that broke the war has now become something that needs to be fought against. That's my guess. Right, next one. What's it gonna be? Ooh. The Bands of Mourning. So, with this, I know this is in the Mistborn era 2. I know there's two characters called Wax and Wayne, which is pretty silly because Wax isn't a name, but Wayne is. So what I'm going to guess is the Bands of Mourning, maybe they get married. And the bands are actually like wedding bands. But because they're of mourning, maybe inside one of the wedding bands is trapped the soul of the lost lover of one of them, and they need to reconcile that to make sure that they can have a happy marriage. That's my guess. Now, next one. Spinning, spinning, spinning. Ooh. Elantris. So with this, Sam Harrison actually did a really good review, so I'll mention him below, where he talked a lot about the world building, where there's Elantris is this city where people were like above, like better people basically, and then the world broke and these people got a disease, and now these extra magic people now in Elantris, it's like a curse. So that's what I know. I actually know a little bit more about this one. So what I'm going to guess is that someone finds out they're from Elantris, they have this Elantris DNA, they go in and they discover that the curse is actually because they are from a different planet. So Elantris turns into a big spaceship and flies off to a different planet where they they can kind of get back to normal. That's my guess. So you can tell, I know nothing about these. Right, next one. The Sunlit Man. So I know this has a cowboy on the cover. I think it's a cowboy, and this is one of his secret projects. So what I'm going to guess is this is on a planet where it is daytime all the time. It is never nighttime. And then one man learns to control the power of darkness or shadows, maybe. But they kind of gnaw away at him. So he gets great power, but then he needs to go back into the sun to like get rid of the poison of that the magic's doing to him, and then he ends up being, as he does more of the shadow magic, actually it starts covering the world, and he starts running out of spaces that he can kind of recharge his magic. That's my guess. And he's a cowboy for some reason. I think he's a cowboy. Who knows? Next one. Oh, come on, figure out. Rhythm of War. I know this is one of the Stormlight Archive books, and what I would guess is there's this great big epic combat happening on this planet, and they discover that music has a source of magic within this world, and so people are actually, if you figure out the rhythm of war, it helps make your soldiers stronger at fighting. But a negative side could be that you start going deaf, or you get voices in your head, or something like that. That's my guess. Wind and Truth. Well, this will be good, because actually no one knows what Wind and Truth is about. So I know it's Stormlight Archive again, so I'm going to guess this is on the same planet that everyone has discovered that music is the best fighting way to improve your fighting. So Wind and Truth, maybe there is, because after they've discovered this rhythm of war, the Earth, the planet breaks up, and there's earthquakes and tornadoes and hurricanes, and they've awakened these spirits that speak the truth. So it's wind and truth. Wind from the hurricanes and the storm. Stormlight, maybe. And the characters... Oh no, shush. And the characters then go and discover that they need to go to the... Shush. I set off the thing by accident. The characters need to go and discover what the truth of the Stormlight Archive, which is this, maybe a tome, a library in the center of the world. They need to go down into the planet's core to find the truth, and they are being blocked by the wind. There we go. Next one. The Way of Kings. I know this is the first book in the Stormlight Archive, so maybe one of the characters is a king, and he realizes that his kingdom on this planet is faulty, flawed. Maybe that's the distant future of the Warbreaker planet, maybe. And he goes and he has to find the Way of Kings, and he ends up making war on his own nation to bring, actually, you need a bit of discord, you need a bit of diversity in thought. And maybe the Way of Kings could even be a path, a canyon that goes down into the middle of the earth, potentially towards the Stormlight Archive. Maybe they discover that before Rhythm of War and Wind and Truth, and it all kind of gets blocked off by the natural disasters. How am I doing? I'm having fun. I'm wrong, but I'm having fun. What's that one? Oathbringer. I think this might be in Stormlight, maybe? I can't remember. So, for Oathbringer, maybe after the Way of Kings, the king character has discovered this Way of Kings down, but he cannot pass. He needs to find someone to give him the equivalent of the secret password. He needs to go through some character revelation. So he needs to go searching for this person who is the Oathbringer. And the person doesn't even know they're the Oathbringer. They're just a normal person. But they've actually got this cosmic power within them that they need to discover to become the Oathbringer. And their job is to bring that oath to the king to unlock the Stormlight Archive. That's my guess. Oh, what's this one? Shadows of Self. I know this is part of the Wax and Wane, but I don't know what the order is. So what I would guess is maybe after or before Wax and Wane get married in Bands of Mourning. Maybe that's the Shadow Self is like maybe one of the other rings. The other ring is corrupted, and instead of being a former lover, it is actually the person's deepest, darkest thoughts. A bit like Earthsea, and they need to go to the other side of. They need to go to their equivalent of hell to fight that person's darker thoughts. So they have to fight the Shadows of Self. There we go. That one was a bit of a struggle. I didn't really know what that one was about, and I'm struggling to make stuff up. There we go. Next one. You see, we're starting to run low on options. The segments on the wheels is getting bigger. Ooh. Words of Radiance. I don't know which one Words of Radiance is from. Is that from Stormlight as well? Is that the other Stormlight book? You're probably shouting at me. So what I would guess is the Oathbringer. Maybe the Oathbringer has brought the oath, and the Words of Radiance are what they say to the king to discover the way of kings, to the Stormlight Archive in the centre of the planet. See, it's all making sense. It's all making sense. Maybe it's to do with... And the Words of Radiance trigger the rhythm of war because it's music and language working together, and maybe the whole point is a bit built around art. Maybe that's what the truth is. The truth is that there is art in humanity. I'm so wrong. I don't know. I have no idea what it is, but what I'm saying is wrong. I'm pretty sure of it, but I'm having fun. Hope you're having fun. Right. We haven't got that many left. Tress of the Emerald Sea. I know this is one of the secret projects, and I know the main character is called Tress, which is weird because that's like hair, tresses of hair. And people say it's like the Princess Bride. That's all I know. So what I'm going to guess is that Tress is Buttercup, and she's a princess, and she needs to go rescue her pirate boyfriend as like a gender swap version of the Princess Bride. So her boyfriend is, or maybe her husband, is the equivalent of the Dread Pirate Roberts, and he's been captured, and she needs to take on that personality to become the fearsome Dread Pirate and go and rescue her partner, who is not Wesley, but it's Wesley. I think that's it. Who knows? Oh, my phone's just locked. Right, we've only got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've only got 6 left. I thought maybe, I don't know. What's this one? The Hero of Ages. This must be from the first Mistborn trilogy, because maybe this one is about the Mistborn hero, and they realise that maybe this is the time travel one, where they have to go back to the hero, find out the Hero of Ages, the person who was like the hero, the King Arthur of our culture. You know what I mean? The hero of past, who magic and myth and fairy tale and history have all kind of got melded together, and then they go back and realise that actually they become that hero. Maybe the hero they go back to, they go find the equivalent of King Arthur, and they die really quickly. The King Arthur character dies, and so the main character has to become the King Arthur character to become the Hero of Ages, to free, and then at the end they travel back to present time, and it's all pictures of them, and that helps them to overthrow the power, because they're like the reincarnation of King Arthur. And yeah, maybe that's it. Who knows? I'm just working off the titles. The Final Empire. I know this is the first book, because calling something the final when it's the first book is interesting. I know it's from Mistborn. I know people say it's fantasy, it has a heist in it, and people say it's fantasy Ocean's 11, which I think is a terrible descriptor, because Is it actually like Ocean's 11, or is it just because it's a heist? It's like saying a murder mystery is like Agatha Christie. That defines the genre, but there's many other different kinds of murder mystery. I know the main character is called Vin, and that's it. And I know it's called Mistborn, so maybe... Oh, and I know that they have... Vin is a girl, and she has powers over metal, and metals can make you do different things, but I don't know why it's called Mistborn. So the final empire would be the big bad guy has won, maybe? I think I remember reading that somewhere. So this is like an underground resistance. But why is it called Mistborn? I don't know. Maybe they have the power to see something that other people can't see through mist. Maybe they were born from mist, but what does that mean? I don't know. Yeah, so my guess is this is a heist to get the MacGuffin to overthrow the Emperor, but the Emperor is actually a puppet for the big bad. And maybe the MacGuffin awakens people from the past, like the Hero of Ages, who have been turned into mist over time, that are like kind of like ghosts. So maybe you've got an Aragorn ghost thing going on like you do in Return of the King. That's my guess. I'm starting to run out of creative juice here. Here we go. Only 4 left. What's it gonna be? The Lost Metal. So I don't know which Mistborn series this is from, Era 1 or Era 2, but what I would guess is, because it's all metal based, maybe someone goes and discovers there's this new metal, this lost metal, that's maybe like uranium, which can be tremendously powerful, but also destroys you and kills you, and people end up with like radiation sickness, but they don't realize until it's too late. So you have this new power, this lost metal being used everywhere by everybody, and then people discover the evil, the bad part of it later. A bit like people did with radium, where you had like women in factories painting radium watches and radium toothpaste and things like that. Yeah, and maybe the bad guy is like evil corporations who have discovered this lost metal. Maybe they've even known about it the whole time, and then have discovered this. So, right. Next one. Let's click on it. What's gonna be? What's this? The Alloy of Law. I don't know which Mistborn trilogy that is. I'm going to guess it's the second one. And I'm going to say maybe... I think the Lost Metal is the newest one, so maybe this is the one before that. So maybe this is the Lost Metal, the uranium style thing, actually starts off as an alloy. And the good guy who brings in this, the Alloy of Law, that helps bring balance and helps mitigate maybe other metals that are super powerful, then becomes the Lost Metal. And that leads to like a degradation of power, and the good guy then becomes the bad guy in the next book. That's what I'm going to guess. Right, 2 left. What a lovely wheel. So, Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. So Yumi and the Nightmare Painter is set on, I'm going to guess, is set on a planet where dreams are real, and maybe everyone has really, really nice dreams, and it's like a utopia, but you actually need a bit of discord and division and a bit of anarchy. So there is someone who is a nightmare painter, and he paints nightmares for people to help, and it comes from a good place, as in, you know, you have a dream that you're going to get robbed, so you then make sure that you lock your door, things like that. All the stuff that our human brains have developed over years, millennia of evolving, you know, basic natural instincts. Maybe this world has never had them because it's always been a utopia. So my guess is you have this nightmare painter who has to do this job that he doesn't like doing, because he goes into people's dreams and he paints these horrible nightmares, and he works in fear. And Yumi is this character, and maybe she goes into his dream. I'm going to guess the nightmare painter's a man. I have no idea. And she goes into his dream, and maybe she discovers what his real fear is, and they have to work on it together to conquer their own nightmares. So I'm going to remove that, and then the last turn of the wheel. Oh, it actually still spins. That's quite funny. What's it going to be? Didn't even line up with the word. The Well of Ascension. So what I'm going to guess with this is, the Well of Ascension is a bit of an oxymoron, because wells go down and ascension goes up. So maybe this is in the first Mistborn series. So maybe the person, the main character, has to go. They've knocked off the Emperor, but it's not really the Emperor, it's the Emperor's lackey. The Emperor's on a different planet, it's like a big galactic empire, and what they need to do is they need to get off the planet. They need to ascend into space, and to do that they need to find the hidden magic spaceships previously. So they go down into the world. They go down into the wells of the world to unlock this magic, which then allows them to ascend to reach new planets. That's my guess. So I'm going to remove that. So now, there we go. That is my terrible, terrible guesses on what the Cosmere is actually about. Let me know in the comments below just how wrong I was, or maybe let me know if there's any bits that are like actually right. That would be quite interesting if I got any bits right. Or if you think actually my ideas sound more interesting. That will not be true, because Brandon Sanderson is supposedly a master of his craft. But yeah, just a really little fun video. If these are your favourite books and I ruined them, I didn't mean to do that. Also, one person on the internet telling you something should not ruin your opinion about anything. I've been Tim Burbage. Please give this video a like. Please comment below. Please subscribe if you want to see more of this. And I'll see you in the next one. Now, get out of my house!